what kind of heroes we're gonna see. No Arc Warden, I suspect. No one's gonna pick Arc Warden. I'm waiting for it. It's gonna get passed.
They took out
again.
Mars, so that's a good thing. We don't have to look at a Mars anymore. At least there was 2 games of Mars today.
Yeah, that's true. Although we can't blame Mars though. He's just a very solid hero, really great offlaner, very tanky. And if you pair him up with the right lineups as well, he just destroys teams. But Oracle.Youth probably just not wanting to deal with it, period. Riki getting taken out. A lot of teams have been prioritizing that Riki pick, and I have to say I was quite surprised that Riki ended up being picked up to begin with. But after seeing the way that this hero plays, incredibly annoying. And if you try to focus on the Riki, then you just give a lot of space to the rest of Riki's teammates to finish you off. So I think Boom, they don't want to deal with any of this sort of the Riki shenanigans. So just eliminating him from the pool. I want to play normal Dota. Oracle.Youth, like, got rid of a lot of offlaners. 2 offlaners off the board, including the Bat Rider from Boom.
10 Yep. Team Oracle takes out again the Pangolier, which seem to be pretty meta nowadays. And you mentioning that Boom Esports playing that very, very high, hyper aggressive playstyle, probably not great under their hands. So just take it out from them in the options. Meanwhile, Boom though actually takes out Death Prophet. That's a hero I don't see getting picked up often. What are the odds of Oracle actually picking it this game? We'll never know.
Yeah,
we'll never know.
I've always been a big fan of Death Prophet in that her style of play, if you leave it unchecked, she's a very snowbally hero. But if you pick up a draft that can actually out-teamfight a Death Prophet, out-sustain her, and the Exorcism Ghosts runs out, she's actually very weak. She doesn't really do that much for a team. Another lineup is a team that has a lot of armor, especially with Sven, because a lot of Sven's armor gives it to the rest of his teammates. It just negates a lot of her exorcism damage, and it really cripples her as a hero. If you can burst her during exorcism, that's huge too, because she's the kind of hero that has to have the ultimate, because if you kill her with exorcism, it's on cooldown whether she buys back or not. So that's one of the biggest drawbacks of Death Prophet. She can't just come back to the team fight and, fight at 100% capacity. That ultimate is probably 50% of what she's supposed to output for damage. We're waiting for that last ban here for Oracle. Snapfire is still available. It got banned out in the last series, so we could see it here.
Yep. Snapfire again, one of those hot contested, hotly picked ban, actually.
Okay.
They took out
Ancient
the AA. I guess it makes sense.
Okay, hang on. Is this potentially Morphling pickup on Oracle? Because a lot of teams only ban AA if they're dealing with if they want to have a Morphling or an Alchemist.
Oh, but the Earthshaker's on the side of Boom, so maybe Boom would like to pick that one up instead.
Likely. And Morphling is... I think Morphling is one of the only carries that teams would consider picking up early if they're going to pair it up with a Shaker. So it's either Boom really wants the Morphling, or Oracle is thinking that Boom wants it and they have to pick it up themselves now before it gets snapped up. Instead, they're going to get Chen. Okay, so that's one reason why they got rid of the AA. They want to make sure Chen heals are always going to be there, but who do you pair it with Chen? Snapfire is available. I'm surprised they went for Chen. It's not a hero that you normally expect. He's decent, but you don't normally expect a first ban for Chen. He's uncommon enough that he doesn't need to be first picked.
I mean, he does everything from sustainability to pushing down lanes, right? Especially with all his creeps.
Yeah.
So that could probably be it. Rubik to counter the pick against the Shaker, get some spells on his way, a Fissure, or even an Echo, even the better. 0 cast time, especially with his Arcane Blessing as well. So yeah, so far nothing has been revealed all too much. But Boom Esports though, they really probably want someone who synergizes with the Earthshaker. I'm still feeling the morph because yes, they banned out the AA, so it feels like a good pick here, but maybe too soon. Not too sure.
Maybe they might not even expect the Morphling either. You don't have to go for Morphling Shaker. It's a scary combo. It used to be scarier, but it got nerfed. But still having that combination is very scary. Instead, Void Spirit gonna be making it through, so not the Morphling. They could still fit it in, because Void Spirit typically goes mid, but I think picking it up now, I mean, I'd be happier with a Void Spirit here. I think locking in a Morphling would be a bit risky, since it's so early. So, oh my god, that was a very fast Ember Spirit ban coming in from Beam Esports. They say, we don't want him to deal with his brother in the mid lane. No, you have to pick something else. We want to make sure that Void Spirit gets a good laning stage.
It's obviously a mid. Like, Void Spirit, I don't see him running on the other lanes as well, because he has to like control the tempo, right? So I'd rather Void Spirit be on the mid, get some levels real quick, and then do some damage, because he doesn't require that many items as it is. So I think they're already expecting him in the mid lane. That's why he banned out the Ember. Well, what Team Oracle still pretty solid to picks for the support, not giving anything out. Takes out the Phantom Lancer. So what do you think they're gonna pick into? The Morph.
Yeah, it's the Morph thing. PL is, I want to say, historically the biggest rival, I suppose, to Morphling. It's like Morphling versus PL. These two heroes are equally powerful in their own ways. They could beat each other. But if you give PL to Boom, then it would have been a really good hero to sort of deal with the Morphling. So I'm very happy that they banned PL. Morphling, you kind of saw this coming with the Ancient Apparition ban. You sort of don't ban that unless you have a reason for it. For example, if maybe Boom Esports plays a really, really good Ancient Apparition. So Morphling's on the field. Very, very elusive hero. It might be quite troublesome for Boom Esports to control him, because Morphling is one of the more elusive carries in the game, and he gets very tanky as well, so you can't just stun him and kill him immediately. He's not like for example, a PA who's very frail. He gets very fat because of his fat morphs, and Lich ends up being the pickup here for Boom, so they want to guarantee at least one lane is successful, but Lich is also really good at pressuring, so I want to know, who are you going to put with the Lich? I suspect the Lich will go in the safe lane with whoever their carry is, just because they want to make sure whoever their safe lane carry is gets that farm, and if you can get a kill with the Lich, then that's an extra bonus as well for your safe lane.
5 seconds remaining.
This is an absolute treat for the Rubik, no? There's a lot of potential steals here he can make from the safe side.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's a single Rubik. He'll only likely be able to steal maybe 2 spells max during the fight, so he can't steal Echo and Chain Frost at the same time. He's gonna have to pick one or the other, and as chaotic as fights are, gotta be very vigilant. He could be a primary target for Void Spirit. Void Spirit could just jump on top of the Rubik, and then what do? You've got a Chen as your secondary support, and if Morphling's gonna protect you, then he has to use all of his resources to stop the Void Spirit, but then Boom Esports have their own heroes to protect Void. So Legion
Oracle
Commander
picked up the Legion, yep. Against the Void. I mean, it's the dual lockdown is long enough. They don't want to handle with the Void Spirit and all his disappearing, his dissimulate. It's super annoying to play against. Astral steps away. So I like the Legion Commander idea, but and he carries the tempo. She carries the tempo as well for the game. What would Boom pick in response to counter it? Or probably we don't even know who their offlaner is. Or the offlaner.
I want to know who their safe lane carry is, because the carry is going to be paired up with that Lich. Legion is a very annoying laner because she has a lot of sustain because she's got press the attack. So she's not going to be easily pushed out of lane even with a Lich. And if you put Legion and Chen, that is a very scary offlane to deal with, because you have to deal with not only Chen and the creeps, but you've got to deal with the tanky Legion. These two have kill potential together. They could absolutely punish a Lich who's overstepped his boundaries. So Boom have to decide here, do they maybe go for a defensive carry, put the Earthshaker and the Lich there to protect them? Maybe you have an independent safe laner, and OD comes out, so this actually pushes Void Spirit into the safe lane.
Yeah, so this Earthshaker, is he a support or the offlaner at this point?
Shaker could be an offlaner. He only needs a Blink Dagger to function.
10 seconds remaining.
It's tough because the Morphling lane is very, very scary. Rubik Morphling can absolutely kill a Shaker if he steps out of bounds, and Earthshaker will not get paired up with Lich, without a doubt. They want them separated. If you put these two together, then you're leaving your mid lane and your off lane exposed. And Team Oracle, they've got great heroes to punish those lanes. Monkey King banned out. I like that ban. Really, really good hero to play against that Morphling.
People are saying in the chat that that Void is going to be played by FBZ. It's an FBZ.
Oh, you think it's
Void.
FBZ? Ooh,
No, that's what the chat thinks. That's what the chat thinks.
That's what the chat thinks. Hang on, we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. It could be.
Chat.
It could be. I mean, it's Boom Esports. They've done some crazy things before.
I mean, if we've seen a Weaver and a Pulse 4, I don't see why Void Spirit wouldn't. You know?
Yeah, that's... I mean, the Weaver position 4 has been around for ages, though.
Lately in the meta, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, but they made it work. MS Chonburi made it work, so... It's good to play devil's advocate, I guess, in
that's
situations such as this.
I'd be pretty keen, though, if it's going to be Void Spirit offlane. Because he's not that easy to pick off.
Would it be a super carry, a hard carry coming out from Boom Esports? Most likely.
We'll see. It's
no!
Doom.
So that's your offlaner right there. No.
So
wait,
FBZ Doom.
Yeah, I think...
No?
Wait. Can the Earthshaker go to the offlane as well and Doom plays the Pulse 4? They can swap, right?
Technically, yeah, those two heroes are interchangeable. One can be the other. Unless they're going safe lane.
10
Shaker.
seconds remaining.
No, that's a bit of a stretch. I do know really good against the Morphling if you can get that Doom off, but, and there's a very big but here, Doom is going to be a huge spell for Rubik to steal if he gets it. If he gets that Doom and that he actually dooms the Void or the OD, Boom are basically dead. Because Doom's whole existence is to be a frontline tank, to absorb a whole bunch of damage, to force Oracle back, and to cast the Doom. Once that Doom is done, Doom's job is finished. He can die, he's basically done everything he needs to do. Rubik, on the other hand, much more helpful than Doom, but can now possibly cast Doom. Razor being a pickup, I really like Razor here because he basically counters Doom because Doom wants to be in your face, but Razor wants to be in your face as well. Oh dear. This is... I'm a bit worried.
Well, whatever it is, man, I just feel like this is gonna be a one heck of a Rubik game if QWE actually pulls this one off. It's gonna be quite the entertaining one. I want to see some really high-level Rubik plays.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how... Is it QWE? I guess Omni is maybe the old team. QWE looking for team.
10 seconds.
Well, it's all on him. Any team fight, could be the Echo, could be the Chain Frost, could be the Doom, that's going to turn the tide around. Boom Esports, not necessarily the tankiest of the bunch with the Void Spirit and OD, but Doom is pretty tanky. So, besides that, if he could actually turn the tide, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be one heck of a game. I'm ready. I'm ready for this one. Game number
excuse
one.
Me, only Morphlings can turn tides, so thank you very much. Let's not do that again.
Wait, hold up. What? You're doing like actual factoids on this thing. But Morphling don't even exist. He's Jello. He's Jello, right? Like he's not even like
I think
liquid.
something's happened.
Jello.
Look, okay.
What if they were like...
Tomber told me something today, and I actually think it's... Let me just tell you what he said. He said that I should be prepared for your awkward jokes today. I think it might be the other way around.
That's what Otomo said?
Yeah, he said that you make really bad jokes. You can flame him tomorrow,
wow,
it's okay.
Hashtag offended, Otomo. That hurts. I feel like here comes the awkward joke. That did a number of crit on me, man. Ah, that was pretty bad.
Ow.
Yeah, I gotta give it to him. Yeah, he's got some credits with that comment.
Alright, here we go. So the match is about to begin. Laning stage. I presume we sort of went over this. I suspect... Yeah, so Makoto's going mid, and it'll be safe lane Drew Missile on the Void Spirit. Lich is going to be going with Drew Missile. So Shaker or Doom? Okay. Pretty tanky offlane duo, actually. They could possibly get a kill if Oracle doesn't respect the Doom Earthshaker lane, because not only do they have a way to block someone in with the Fissure, but Doom actually hits hard himself. And some of the heroes in Oracle, they're quite squishy too. Rubik's squishy, Chen's very squishy. Chen doesn't really have an escape if he gets caught. Although so far both supports are down bottom, so it could be solo Morphling. They might just be going for runes though.
We see the typical take over your outpost at minute 0. play coming out already on the side of
Yeah.
Oracle.Youth. They are here to contest. I think they can very well do so, though, with the Rubik. Oh, but they're going up on the high ground. Calvin taking a bunch of harass. He does have the overwhelming odds that did a decent number to their HP, but overall, I think they just won the they won the runes.
Got to be careful if you're going 3 versus 3 into a Legion Commander. Overwhelming odds, if you stack up as well, does crazy amounts of damage. But it looks like OD is going back to that mid lane. So yeah, it's going to be 2-1-2. Is it 2-1-2 for Oracle? It looks like it could be 1-1-3. I have to take a look and see whether Rubik goes. Chen's going up top. Alright, so we're looking at 2-1-2 as well. No tri-lanes.
Up top with the morph. Ah.
Yep.
I figured you'd want the Chen down with the Legion earlier.
Yeah,
on.
I would have originally. I would have assumed that it would have been Chen down bottom, but after, I'm not sure if they've seen this lane matchup of Doom Shaker, but they probably want to make sure that at least Morphling is stable in his lane, and if Morphling can solo, then Chen probably can just head down bottom and try and put pressure on the Void Spirit. This Razor lane though, Razor is a absolute counter to OD, so Makoto needs to be very wary of his positioning in these team fights. Because I mean, Facehugger's name is perfect, like this hero was made for him, you want to be hugging faces.
That's what he does best, I guess. Calvin trading down at the bottom lane does take a bunch of harass though, but all good. He didn't skill into the press the attack at level 1 though, so he will take some sort of decent harass from the side of Boom Esports. But top lane seems to be pretty fine. FBZ again, one of those heroes. Doom just healing himself up in the lane once he gets like a Scorch Earth in.
Yeah.
So Hyde's thinking about it.
Yep.
He does. Zone out Ramley. Yep.
He's just gonna walk through. So he's fine. Unfortunately, wasted fissure. Especially this early on, you don't really want to be using fissures and not getting kills just because of how expensive it is. It's got 2 clarities, but if they could have gotten first blood there on the Chen, that would have been beautiful. A great start to that opening aggressive dual lane coming in from Boom ID. I can see why they're doing this though. They want to put the heat on Matt Morphling, so he's just not simply free farming.
Oh, QWE tries to go and cancels the pull, I guess. Has got a Observer Ward quite deep into the bottom lane there, just to scout out any sort of pulls that they're about to do. Dreamer Cell in the tree line.
Maybe rotations as well in case in case the Shaker comes in through the bottom.
Is the camp empty? Is he just trying to stand there to block it? It's like a minute 57. So
which camp is this?
The bottom camp, the ones the Rubik's walking into, QWE is walking into.
Maybe
could be looking just to block it off. Yeah.
Gotta be careful if you're trying to block camps like that though. If he gives away first blood, then clearly the body block would not be worth it. I'd rather...
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. It is empty. Yeah. He's trying for it.
We should be able to get it here.
Yeah, I don't think the Lich can kill him just yet. So, should be all fine.
Can we take a look at Lich? I just want to see the cooldowns. I don't think he could kill him, but it depends on the cooldowns.
Well, I guess they're not listening to us, huh? They're not.
No love from the ops.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Maybe there was a delay. There was a 6-second cooldown on his burst. Just used it, trying to slow him down, but he's definitely gonna make it in the zone before 2 minutes. So yeah, guys, if you're watching this, if you're just watching this one in the chat, it's times like this where we have time to just read up on a comment. Nura Tifa, is that her name? Nura Tifa. Well, hello there, Danelie and Keith. She says. What the heck? No. Listen to this. Listen to this. Keith does make some bad jokes and metamorphosis jokes too. What metamorphosis jokes? I don't even get a metamorphosis jokes. No, I bet Automo is making the judgment because I keep calling him Big Brain Automo on the live stream. So he gets a bit cringed out with that one. He just goes like, "Why do you gotta say that, man?" I'm like, "I'm doing it on purpose, man. It's gonna stick."
Are you doing it on purpose? I'm genuinely curious.
I was doing it on purpose to call him Big Brain Otomo, just to get some sort of thing sticking on him.
Okay, because I wasn't 100% sure. I was thinking like, oh, okay, we'll just go with this.
Doing that. I'm doing that on purpose for sure.
Okay. Yeah, so just waiting for Dream ESL to reconnect.
What's good with life, guys? How's the lockdown going on for you guys? Southeast
How's quarantine?
Asia? Does it apply to the whole Southeast Asia, or is that a Malaysian and Singaporean thing with the whole lockdown? I know the states are all on lockdown right now. I've got friends that tells me about it.
I think everywhere's on lockdown. I know my family told me that technically, I think technically there's a lockdown in Australia as well. So I think most places are hopefully protecting themselves. You don't want to spread the thing. Not gonna say it because don't jinx it, okay? If you say it, it's like saying Lord in Harry Potter. You don't say it.
Voldemort.
And then like someone
we do not speak of that name.
You know what would be perfect? Imagine that you say Lord Voldemort and then someone in production just like comes in with like the thunder sound effect and it's like
Unfortunately that can be done because like of the delays. It probably comes in like 5 seconds later, most likely.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So
we've tried. Could have been for April Fools, you never know.
Wow, that's 2 days of a delay, then that'll be
sorry.
pretty bad for it. Boom biasa sekali, Sanura said on the chat. I'm guessing she's Indonesian. Not too sure about it. All good. Are you reading up the chats though, Danelie?
No, I'm not actually. Hang on, what ones do you have open?
I have them on Facebook.
Can you send
on
me
Twitch,
the stream link? Oh, can you send me the stream link?
ESL Asia. It's ESL
I'm just
Asia.
Asking you to do me a favor.
Hold on. Then I gotta.
Look, I'm already going on Twitch. Okay, it's too late. Don't do it. Stop.
God dang. Hard to please. Please this one.
Oh dear.
Too much talking, they say. Oh, well, what other options do we have?
Yeah, we're kind of stuck here.
Do we have? Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We just had to wait for Dream ESL to reconnect. At least the match is on, so we get to see what's going on. I really want to know what the plan is here for BYD. What do they want to do? Oh, looks like they managed to catch up.
Low, Azura. He's got the enchant token.
I don't know if you want to man fight a Shaker though. Shaker is one of these stronger supports that can actually man fight carries.
Yes, he could. Azura pretty confident that he had the strength moth on, so he's got that one going for him.
On regen. Yeah.
Yep. Solo in the lane right now. Mikoto mid lane matchup seemed to favor pretty decent on each side. Facehugger does get the better edge of the last hit and the deny, so slight win for him in this sense.
Yeah.
Do you think things are gonna be static on both ends here? Just because of the hero pick being in the late game as a morph, and you probably want some items on Boom Esports before they actually can go ham?
Technically, Morphling isn't a hero that only comes online offlane. That comes offlane. It comes online late game. He can actually get activated during the mid game. It sort of depends on his item choices and whether he can contribute to any mid game team fights, because Morphling, he actually has a kit that can benefit the team during a team fight. He can come in with the waveform, he can actually go in with the stun, with the adaptive strike as well. So he has utility, he can benefit the team. If he can join in and grab some kills, or even getting any solo kills up top, that would be great. Then he can get his items earlier and then he can fight sooner. Otherwise, yeah, they're probably banking on that late game. But the thing is, if you pick a Legion and you're picking a Razor, you're not banking on the late game.
Look at mid lane though. Facehugger already gets caught out with the official block. Great play coming out from Hyde. Mikoto will secure the first blood, and a haste rune pops out there too. So yeah.
So normally the OD is first to die, but beautiful rotation, sort of just the thing that happens when you run a Shaker. You've got to be careful about those ganks. I believe, yeah, Facehugger even had a ward in the mid lane, but he still didn't see the Shaker coming. Very unfortunate.
So lanes are gonna be a bit more stagnant. Yeah, maybe Kelvin, once he gets the Blade Mail and he's level 6, maybe he can start doing the rotations. Do you see, who do you think is priorities for the side of Oracle.Youth here to take out first before any single fight?
You'd actually want to get rid of the Doom before he can get that Doom off. Doom is the worst spell for anyone to get.
Oh, Kelvin will go down.
Yeah, they tried to go for Kezkoot's small kill, but they lose their offlane. Yeah, you'd want to be able to kill Doom before he can get that Doom off. Otherwise, if Doom is not your target and you are anticipating that Doom, trying to blow up the OD is probably your next best option because you don't want him to drop the hammer.
Alms for the dead.
So yeah, if you're Oracle, either of those two, it really depends as well because they don't have a lineup that can blow heroes up either. They can duel someone, yeah, they have 5 seconds to duel people, but they don't have the best burst. Razor is built for prolonged team fights. Same thing can be said for Legion. Legion sort of wants to either join a lineup where she can instantly burst someone down with nukes plus her duel, or just go for those incredibly long team fights because she's got some really good spells that can actually do quite a bit of damage in a prolonged team fight. Boom though, they don't want a prolonged team fight. They want everything to happen like this. They want all their spells to land, they want all the heroes to die, and they want it to finish. So yeah, Oracle, they might just have to try and outlive everything. So yeah, it might have to be a late game here with that Morphling. Because if Morphling gets doomed, that's it.
Oh, Facehaga again down in mid. Kezkoot's around the area, has a force shield, drops the hammer. Mikoto gets another kill. That's gonna feel bad if you're a Facehaga right now. This Razor is being shut down with the rotations coming up from Boom Esports. They pinged it out now. Someone is rotating down to the mid lane, but for what reason? It's the Chen. Chen's coming down to the mid lane.
It's gonna be spotted. He's going to be spotted. There's a observer ward on the dire high ground from the Radiant side, so Boom will see Chen coming. Hyde is sitting in the tree lines. I don't know if Chen spotted him out because he did go back up onto the high ground. He sees him now, but don't tell me Facehugger's dead again.
Nah, it's fine. Yep. Yeah. The Fissure block was there. Rubik is in the area, so at least they forced the rotation out from both lanes. Dreamocell, maybe you can make something happen here. Probably not. Oh, he does go in for the Astral Step though. The damage isn't there just yet. So he's gonna walk this one out, or does he? Astral Step once again. It is stacking up. He might get the kill here. Kezkoot rotating into the area. He has the Frost Blast. Resonant Pulse, enough to take him down, especially with that Ice Shield.
Yeah, Dreamocell made that movement because he knew both supports for Oracle TP mid. They were both mid, they showed themselves as well, and he knew that he could actually take out Kelvin. Kelvin was hoping maybe he could actually...
Facehugger once again! No, this is not the condition you want to play in. Facehugger tries to run away with the Eye of the Storm, but luckily he does get out despite the Fissure block.
Tough game. Tough game for that Razor. If he died 3 times, that would have been devastating. He would have just been crippled. Not to say that he's not struggling, he is already struggling. He's almost getting close to being twice in terms of CS behind that OD. Are they smoking?
Yeah, they did. An early smoke, trying to gank down in bottom. Dreamocell maybe.
Can they kill Dreamocell though?
I don't think so. Do they have the lockdown necessary for that? Is this Legion already on
only
6?
If they can get the only if they get the duel off. She does have 6. So if they can get maybe the lift into Calvin and then instant duel when he lands. But Calvin's nowhere near.
Oh,
QW, yep.
Caution ping. Dreamocell knows.
It's gonna hide into the tree line. It's all good here. They do realize that the golems are the mud golems, so a lot of control on their end actually. There's one up as well. Kelvin just trying to cut the trees, trying to find him there. Oh, Dreamocell comes in, clears the creep wave. Smart play.
He's under the tower, so he does have some semblance of safety. If they tried to dive him here, I think it's too early for Legion to really tank the tower comfortably. And we know that insta-TPs will come through. Shaker's probably ready with the TP. Kezkoot's nearby as well. I don't think Ramley saw him. Yeah, I don't think he saw him. He was just taking the shrine.
It is almost the 10-minute mark, so maybe they might want to look to contest this. They already drew a line up at the top lane. Want to contest at top. They seize him there. Kezkoot cannot take it back. They will go for the top though. Azura's in the area, gets astraled up. Mikoto
Radiant's
just
middle
buying some
tower
time
is
for the
under
capture.
attack.
It will be an outpost for an outpost, so
See if anyone can steal that outpost back. I doubt it though. So Morphling in the jungle. We have Doom farming that top lane for free. Boom ID gonna be
Dreamer
loving
Cell's
this
going
for
for it.
Doom.
Dreamercell's actually going for it. Cancels in the last second.
There's no way. Yeah, that was very smart from Rubik just to deny him the steal. So 150 EXP each. Shrine, huge priority for both squads.
Is under attack.
So yeah, very slow game. It doesn't seem like anyone wants to really put any pressure on unless it's a guaranteed kill. FBZ has the Doom available. I'm surprised he's hung on to it because a lot of teams love to just go hunting the moment their Doom hits 6 just to grab a kill with the Doom. But he's decided to just push the tower anyway, but it's most likely because he just got a free lane. Morphling abandoned lane, maybe worry that he gets ganked up with the Doom. So yeah, free tower, they're gonna try and dive Dreamer Cell. There's 4 heroes here and they even brought FBZ in too.
Yep, they want Ramley. He's the easier kill. We'll take him as a trade there, only losing the pos 5, which is relatively okay. Meanwhile, at top, they do push towards the tower and takes it. Mikoto secures a space up in the top lane. They smokes immediately. Tries to get for more kills here. They didn't expand all too much of their ultimate or resources, so they can look for more.
Yep, so using all the time that they can. Oh, Dreamer Cell's disconnected again, unfortunately. Oh, hopefully he comes back.
Looks like we're gonna have to talk and get the chat all riled up and angry at us. Alright, Nuratifa said, it's okay, it's your job to talk a lot. Game on. Someone's on our side, at the very least.
Aw.
Thank you so much.
You make it sound as if it's a bad thing, my goodness. Alright, we'll get there together. So far, though, it's looking really good for Boom ID, though, leading with 5 kills compared to 0 on Oracle, and they're also leading by 2k gold. I'm just wondering what sort of direction we're going to here, if we're going to see maybe some early game pressure from Boom ID, or if they're going to play similar to Chumbury last game. Maybe just focus on prioritizing those towers, not so much kills. Because towers actually progress the game better than kills. Like, kills, yeah, you take a hero off the map, but there comes a point where taking a tower is much more profitable than killing off heroes because death timers are very short now. If you can get rid of towers now, it's better because everyone benefits from the gold. Whereas if you get a kill, yeah, people still get gold, but towers in the long run just a better time investment rather than just going for those kills willy-nilly. I do believe we've got a wraparound though in that bottom lane. Yep, Kescute and Dreamer Cell coming in for a wrap.
Yep.
They're gonna run his
down at
Morphling. I
He
think
scouts
they
out
see
the morph.
Morphling
He's
too.
gonna go full edgy though.
Minus
If they could actually
armor.
get an
He's
astral
got
step
minus
now. The
armor.
root was there. They got
Oh.
him. Two skills is all it took. He was already in his edgy form. Just pulled him in with the Void Remnant and come in with the Astral Step to finish it all off. And now the wraparound FBZ. Boom. It has to go out of there, but the duel has been committed. Here comes the paintball, but the duel damage isn't there because they cannot finish him up on time. In fact, he's just going to run and doom onto Facehugger. Facehugger comes in with the big echo, catches onto no one. Ramsey will just walk away in the tree line. Ramley still living, actually. At least that. They get at least that. And now they can look for more. Hyde still in the area. We'll go down to FBC. Finally something turning his way, but it was a bait as the Chain Frost bounced to and fro and takes him down. Triple kill goes on the way of Dreamo Cell.
Oracle maybe getting a bit ahead of themselves. They would have had a better trade if they actually just decided to run instead of go back and, you know, grab that kill on the Shaker. The Doom on Razor was not ideal. Normally you don't want to be dooming Razor because if he's static link someone, it doesn't cancel the static link. He still gets to do his thing. So yeah, maybe a slight misplay there from FBZ. Could have doomed someone else, but Razor was right in front of him, so I don't blame him for going for that. He did die first because they tried to kill him before the doom. the fight honestly could have gone better for Oracle, but Boom ID, they managed to salvage it. They were actually chasing the low HP heroes, whereas Oracle, they were the ones that were very weak in themselves. I think it's too soon for Oracle to be fighting though. They don't really have the best lineup to do these kinds of plays. It's actually Boom ID that has the ideal early game fighting lineup because they have really big ultimates that can just turn a fight on its head, whereas Oracle excels in constant fights with low cooldowns. That's what Oracle is good at. So if they want to keep doing this, they're going to have to consistently push through, but I just don't see them winning these fights as long as something like Doom is up, Chain Frost is up, as long as OD's ultimate is up as well, if Echo's there as well. They need these spells to be gone and to fight to actually win.
Look at that smart play though. They immediately blocked the camp after the Morph actually farmed the area, and now they're just taking over the whole top jungle. They recognize with the Morph, you're going in late, they're not giving any sort of farm. Azura now takes the farm off the Shaker. The block isn't ideal, but he is in his place. Duel comes out. Can it burst him down finally? Does give the damage on the way onto Kelvin.
Oh, Morphing,
Still can
he just
look
ran
for more.
right into him.
FBZ was there as well. They're going for FBZ. Facehugger will hug him, and now Mikoto finally made the rotation in. Astral Imprisonment holds him there for a little while. Gets the Void Remnant pulling him towards the Illujo and drops the hammer. Takes down one. Can they get more? Azura is already shifting into his strength form, so some sort of HP going his way, but with the control from the Void Remnant, they will walk away in time unless he astros forward. Has to dissimulate, comes up with the Revenant Pulse, but no damage just yet to take him down. Should be going out fine. Azura will make it away. And well, Ramley becomes the victim instead.
They're still chasing though. And it's because they have that high ground vision, so you know, Calvin, he thought he's safe to farm, but he's got to be careful. He needs to get out of there. And yeah, he knows. Oh, if he stuck around, he would have died. They're gonna keep going. My goodness, they really want to fight with this Razor.
Nice Fisher stole, and nice Fisher stolen by Rubik. Actually blocked them there. Yep. Something in return though, a pause 5 or a pause 5, yeah.
Yeah, so this is sort of the kind of stuff that we want them to be doing. So once all of the ultimates are gone and when Boom ID doesn't want to fight, that's when you want to sort of jump in if you're Oracle. So we're going to have to see if they can continue to make these plays. They actually managed to get away with the previous fight because FBZ came in to the fight, I believe, with no mana, but his Doom was on cooldown for like 10 more seconds. But then, unfortunately, he died, so he wasn't able to contribute at all. And that fight absolutely worked so much better for Oracle. But I feel like that's also... It's like a one-time thing. Like, fights won't always happen like that. They're gonna have to walk into the Doom. They're gonna have to deal with the OD hammer. We saw last fight as well. OD, I think he landed the hammer on 3 heroes. It was all 3 cores. And it did so much damage. So, and they gotta figure out, how do they deal with Mikoto? Do they have to spread out? Do they need to come in from the backside? Obviously, you want a Blink Dagger on the Legion. I have no idea if that's on Legion's mind right now, or if Legion wants to try and build for a sustain, because Legion has been taking a buttload of damage from these fights. And if Legion gets doomed, if she has Blink, that's not added bulk.
Well, he's gonna get... Oh, the Astral Imprisonment will buy some time for the deal to wear off, and then the Counter Fisher goes back onto them. They're looking to get this Legion down. Calvin falling pretty low, but will they actually take him down? They will with that Revenant Pulse. They will take him down. Kezcute, meanwhile, on the backline, gets the stare, pulls him into it. Facehugger now on his own against Mikoto. He is definitely not living that one. And now Ramley just going for it. They want to get this Morph in return. He's falling pretty low. He has been doomed out, but the Fisher Connects is there. There was no way they were running out of this one, and this one is as good as dead.
Yep. Oh, this is going to be a really tough game for Oracle. So they're trying to fight, but everything that Boom ID has just basically counters their lineup. I feel kind of bad for Razor because he's sort of doing what he's supposed to be doing, and there's just no follow through because the only hero that can really follow through is himself and the Morphling. But right now, if we take a look at Morphling's inventory, he has the bare necessities just to survive. And that's about it. He doesn't have any attacking items, he doesn't have anything to boost himself to try and get kills. He's relying on the rest of his team to accomplish all of that, and with everyone dying left, right, and center, and their net worth falling, they're now behind by 4k net worth. These heroes on Boom ID are going to get so tanky, and especially with the Astral, That absolutely destroys Calvin's strat because he wants to go for the duel. Someone gets Astral, he does nothing.
Fissure to connect with it. Calvin again in a lot of trouble, falling pretty low with the Remnant from the Void Spirit, pulling him backwards, just delaying his chance to escape. One more Astral Imprisonment should do the work, but if he doesn't, well, an Arcane Orb will finish the job. A Wicked Sick going to the side of Mikoto. He is just running them down ever since that 2 death in the mid lane by this Razor. He's just having the game of his life at this point.
Yeah, I feel very bad for Calvin. He's queued up the Blink Dagger. He knows he needs to be the one to initiate for the team, but he's just dying. He has to be the one to make these plays, but if he's constantly dying, he's never going to get access to that Blink Dagger. But the thing is, if he stops to farm, then who's the one that's going to be keeping Boom ID at bay? Because you can't expect the Morphling to do that. Morphling needs to be the one farming. And then Razor needs to be farming as well. So everyone on the team of Oracle, they need some kind of farm, but they can't figure out who's the one that's going to hold the fort down while the rest of the team tries to get their act together. Because right now they're in shambles. They might be able to get, small pickoffs if Boom ID gets complacent, but so far Boom ID, they've been on point with where they need to be, who they need to kill,
bottom, though.
Where potential ganks are going to be, yeah.
Hold that thought, because Calvin again getting caught up. He's running through the trees. He has to press the attack to regen himself up, but with the Scorch, you cannot outrun this guy when you're in his domain.
Poor Calvin, he's basically just picking up scraps off the ground now. He just needs that Blink Dagger money. But he can't get it. Everyone's occupying the jungle.
And now they're smoked up. This is the tempo Boom has to play. They know Morph is only going to come in the late. They are acting right now. They still have their Doom on though. QWE is down on the high ground, down on the low ground, so it does pop. The smoke is there. Instantly Echo goes for him with the Astral Step, just bursts him down. That's a monstrous kill. Going on the side of Jim O'Sell. Takes over the outpost as well.
They were going to go for the Doom, but FBZ realized, wait a minute, we're going to kill him. Just cancelled it halfway through the animation. It's alright, we've got Doom for another fight. Oh, if you're Oracle, you actually wanted Doom to be burnt there. So then at least you know it doesn't, it's not on the map for a while. Oh, dang. Just knowing that that's there. Here comes FBZ, yeah.
Just to get executed by the judge, jury, and executioner, that is Mikoto. He does not need to drop the hammer, but he's got others. Great Fissure stun onto 2. Randomly still in the area, blinks forward immediately. Go gets another kill. Godlike now on the side of Mikoto. This guy's absolutely insane.
What do we say here? Rest in pieces? Oracle? This has been a really tough game. They've been shredded in pretty much every lane. Mid lane, it's supposed to be a pretty big win there for Razor, but they didn't manage to protect him, unfortunately. They lost Razor 2 times, almost 3 times in the mid lane, so he basically lost his lane. Top lane, that was also a lost lane actually, because Morphling had to retreat into the jungle, giving Doom a free lane. And then down bottom, again, it was another win for Boom ID because Dreamer Soul just farmed. He didn't really feel any kind of pressure. Calvin was just there, didn't really do anything to push out the Void Spirit. And now Oracle, they're way far behind now, 12k net worth behind, 21 minutes into the game. That's a lot of gold that's not theirs. And they've taken only 1 tier 1 tower right now, so they do have a way to recover if they can either win the next upcoming team fights, get pickoffs, or try to take towers. But yeah, they're so desperate. They're looking for kills, but look at where everyone is on Boom ID. They're on the opposite side of the map.
They're going straight for the Roach. They pinged it out. Cells in the area though. They're making a rotation over. Can they take Roach this early?
Yeah, I don't.
Do they even have the damage?
Armor. They don't have the medallion.
Cell actually spots him out, but he misplayed himself, went a little far too deep and gets dueled up. Feeds the damage onto this Calvin, but now the Chain Frost is good. It's bouncing onto everyone. But Facehugger, he's still a tanky one, will get out in time in the duel. It connects onto Mikoto. The fight's just over. You get out of there if you're Boom Esports. They can run you down. They're looking for more. Azura, tries to go with the shotgun, but does not connect. So they now can finally finish the Roach at their own sweet time.
Did we just see Boom? That was a disaster. Okay, I could kind of see what they were trying to do though. They wanted to disrupt the Roshan. Maybe they thought if Dream ESL went in, it would have been enough to sort of scare Oracle out of the Roche pit that they wouldn't commit. But Oracle, they had some pretty big balls there. They just turned right onto Dream ESL, shredded him. I believe OD wasn't close enough to get the Astral off, which was the reason why Dream ESL ended up dying. And then the Stolen Doom gets turned onto the OD, and OD gets deleted as well. So it's a free Roche, free tower. You know, sometimes, okay, when you pull the pin on a grenade, you actually have to throw it. You don't hang on to it.
Well, they hugged onto it for their dear lives and it exploded. That Rubik finally coming in. They gotta be careful of the spells they give away. As we can see, it turns the fight around. Just that one spell.
That was a huge kill though. It was what, an 8 kill streak on Dream ESL's Void Spirit.
Yep, fed the gold away. It's not over
So
just yet, though. That was one bad fight. Yeah, it's not over. It's one bad fight for Boom.
Look, it's not over, but that was a pretty big swing. It was, I believe, a 12k lead for Boom ID just then. Now it dipped down to 7. It's now 8, but that's a lot of gold to be giving away. Is Calvin close to that Blink Dagger? Because I know Calvin was struggling to get that Blink. Did he have it for the whole fight?
I have no idea. I thought you mentioned it earlier on. Let us take a look at the Legion.
I remember mentioning that he didn't have it. We will eventually get there, maybe after the smoke.
Well, they've got a DD rune, so this fight would most definitely swing the way of Boom Esports if they were looking to commit. They do have...
they want to do on Calvin on the right side. Yeah. Oh, they're right next to each other.
It's a smoke action. They catch us one. Oh, Fisher does not catch this. Oh, the Echo. That's on the one. The Fisher as well. I think this fight is just haywire now, especially when the backline can't get the control. Drops out the chain frost, bouncing onto everyone. This fight, you gotta disengage. His own creeps is bouncing it on towards him. Dricocell now with the Astral Step. Oh, drops the hammer. Unfortunately, Judgment Day does not rain upon him. The duel is out to control Mikoto, but can they finish him off? Facehugger is running in to dish some sort of damage with the Eye of the Storm, but unfortunately cannot get the job done. He disappeared. Hyde actually blinked himself away. Now they're looking for more. Drops down to Fisher. Does not connect. Spots out the trail from the Blink Dagger. Will not pursue any further.
That could have actually gone a lot worse than I anticipated. That was insane. So I feel like a small mistake here by Boom ID was that they basically used all of their huge spells on Facehugger, which was the Razor. You don't really want to be dooming a Razor just because he's tanky. You're almost never going to kill that hero, especially if it's protected by Oracle. If you want to get the Doom off, you're going to want to get it either onto Azure or Calvin. I feel like those two heroes actually play a bigger factor for Oracle than the Razor does. If you want to kill Razor, you got to use everything. But we saw they sent in the Shaker with the Fissure. They sent in the Doom to go with the Initiation. And at the end of the day, he survived. How tanky was Facehugger? He's got an incredible amount of health to survive all of that.
He's got about 2k HP in 26 minutes of the game.
Yep, and he's also got the regen from the Royal Jelly as well.
Oh, Calvin already hits the Presti attack. Might want to look to do something here, but the Astral will keep him in place. The lift by QWE maybe will just bring the control long enough for him to do something. Pops the BKB, Facehugger just running at their faces. But the Fisher, nice block, will dissuade any sort of persuasion, any sort of chase they were thinking of.
You know, this Razor,
that looked very promising.
Yeah, so Facehugger early on, he didn't seem like he was going to do much for the team, but now he's actually started to turn into a pretty big force to be reckoned with, especially if he can get a really long static link. Steals a lot of damage, hits hard himself, and considering how tanky he is, he's very threatening to Doom. So Doom to Boom ID. And so you can see, you know, they're actually worried about what happened at that Roche fight. If they botch one more team fight, this game is even net worth-wise, and you don't want to be even against a Morphling lineup.
Because you know they're just gonna outscale you at the late game. Throws in a Void Ram then, does pull no one. Immediately they're looking to commit over here, actually hurdling up as a pack. They do have a vision from the side of Oracle, so if any sort of engagement they Boom Esports is planning to do. It might be scouted out. Calvin's waiting patiently in the tree line. If they get this duel out on Dream or Cell, it might be well over for them. Oh, they smoke. It will be popped by Calvin. Perfect positioning. They hear it.
Who do they want to duel?
They drop down to Fissure, thinking that they would be in that direction, but he does not want to commit. Playing it safer.
I think that was smart. Yeah, that was smart. Not to go in there. I wonder who his priority is for dueling. I think the priority for him so far has been Doom. To make sure that Doom doesn't come out if they can kill him off first. Man, this game's starting to get intense now.
All that lead, Boom Esports, but if you cannot take the objectives, it's only giving space onto the Morph to farm a little bit longer, so they're gonna have to make something happen.
Yeah, they're gonna need to do it soon too, because if you leave that Morphling unchecked, we've seen what happens when you have a late game fully equipped Morphling going up against pretty much anything. Even OD won't be able to contest with a Morphling.
Especially when you've drafted an ES onto the side of your team for him to steal, to morph into, more or less.
I think they anticipated it though after seeing the Ancient Apparition pickup. So maybe they thought, oh, they're probably going to pick up Shaker and Morphling together. So I can understand maybe trying to go for a deny pick so that that combo isn't always available, but I'm not sure if it's... I'm not sure if it's enough to justify the Shaker pick. To be fair though, Shaker has been doing some heavy lifting with those fissures to make sure that his teammates don't get caught out. So having the Shaker, it's been beneficial for Boom ID so far, but you could tell that they're starting to struggle now because previously they managed to kill heroes off instantly. They would catch them and they would die within 2 seconds. But now we're starting to see things like Lincolns, BKB, heroes have a lot of health now, and so that burst isn't as reliable anymore. And the thing is, Oracle's whole lineup is built for long team fights. Whereas for Boom ID, I'm gonna have to use this joke so many times now. Their whole lineup is made around things to go boom. But things are not going boom anymore.
Besides, I'm not gonna use that one against you. I'm not Otomo. I'm gonna play the bigger person right now. I'm gonna let that one slide. But yes, that's a solid point. They're not equipped to sustain as well as much as Oracle is with the Presti attack, with the Hand of God. There's just so many things they can play around with, and not to mention Morph gets pretty tanky, especially with the Strength Morph. So you're right. If they can actually survive the initial burst, the initial boom, they could actually turn the fight around. And we've seen some sort of fight that the Oracle can put up with down at the Roche Pit earlier on.
Yeah. So Boom ID, they might have to reconsider some of their options when it comes to initiating these fights. Maybe they have to be a bit more calculated, try and come in from an unexpected angle, because so far they've more or less engaged them head on. We did see them try and go for a smoke, but that got popped by the Legion in the tree lines, which was very smart from Oracle for them to get rid of that. Huge asset, because they could have possibly lost someone with that smoke. And so... yes, I'm not sure if you want to be what you want to do here if you're Boom. Like, they can keep trying to go for these kills, but I think Oracle's done a really good job at dodging so far.
Your loyalty will be rewarded.
Well, game is a go. We're about to see. They might just converge here. They do have vision. Oh no, this opposite vision on each side here. Everyone's planting a deep ward. The Dyer's on the side of the Radiant. Radiant on the Dyer's likewise.
Well, Oracle knows that Boom is not home. Yeah, so Oracle knows that Boom's not home because they've got one ward right next to that middle lane. Normally, if someone's farming, you'd see people rotating around. So they know roughly where Boom ID is. They don't know exactly where, but they know where to position themselves. They don't get caught blind. Yes, I believe that ward actually spotted the rotation there from Boom ID, so they are expecting this, and you can see Morphling is positioning himself as well in that top lane to come and join in if things get a little bit scary.
It's quite a bit of a stalemate right now. Everyone's just taking the objectives, trying to farm up a little more, trying to expand the lead. Is Roche even up? I don't think so. It was so soon when it took one.
Roche... Oh, I think that's a timer right there. Yes,
Yeah,
that should
yeah.
be the timer. Roche will be coming up in, I presume, 2 minutes with that timer. It's quite late. It's a slow timer.
Well, they're smoking up, getting ready for it. Oh, in the mid lane though, they might actually catch someone here. It's Kescute falling in pretty deep. They want a bigger kill. They're going right in the back lines. Mikoto
they might know.
in the area. They had the wards. Yeah. They see him. They have the vision. For some weird reason, that game sense. They back out. Oh, they actually have in a sentry down there. But does it see through smoke though? I don't think so.
No, it doesn't. Yeah, so Oracle, they are on the hunt. And I thought Boom ID was the one that was going to be doing the hunting. But now they're the ones that are being hunted. You have to be so careful now. This is a very delicate game of Dota. One misplay on the side of Boom ID, and this game just flips on its head, and then it's going to be Oracle they'll be the ones to take the lead. And you don't want to be playing from behind, especially with the kind of heroes that they're running. Sure, OD is a very strong hero, but he does best when he absolutely explodes, because he'll be doing huge amounts of damage. He has a lot of high intelligence items, and that means he can just, you know, cut through the thick HP pool of Facehugger. Same thing with Doom, actually. Doom is not too bad, but the thing is, if you fall behind with Doom, Doom purely becomes utility, because he himself no longer will do damage. He'll just be there to keep the Doom going.
Oh, it's a wraparound down in the mid lane. They do scouts out the Centaur though, so they know. Oh, they have an observer. They see two. They see two in the dire jungle, and they pinged one Kelvin. He's on his own. Immediately comes in, but the blink, he gets out. The Youth is there to control him for a second. All his teammates around. And surely he does not make it out of this one.
Yep, everyone on the escape. Oh, I think they're still chasing Ramley though. Look at this Doom.
Yeah, they have an observer up in the top. They have it on this jungle, so they do see him. They had a high ground observer there. They realized there was only two in the area, so they saw Calvin on his own. Oh, Azura though, actually falling pretty low. The control is there. Can they actually burst him down? They won't. Astral steps forward, dissimulate. You gotta back out now, surely. Assume that the team is coming. Nope, they have the numbers. The Doom is there. Perfect onto the Morphling, and now to fall with is the Rubik as well. Perfectly played by Boom Esports, making the rotations, making the pick off one after another.
Yeah, Oracle probably getting a bit too confident there. Morphling thinking, "Oh, I'll just be fine. It's just a Void Spirit." Suddenly gets perma silenced, almost loses whole health, the entire health pool. Thinking Rubik's gonna be there to save the day, but then all of a sudden Astral comes out of nowhere, and you just get doomed. That kind of play, you shouldn't be making those mistakes if you're Oracle. You should have been capitalizing on your lead, but now he's just given it away by losing one of their highest net worth heroes. And now Roshan is up, being taken by Boom ID. 33 seconds left for Morphling to come back, and I don't know if they'll be able to actually protect this. They're pinging. They know. Do they know? They've actually got Razor going down. Are they giving this away?
Well, I don't think they're actually just giving it away. They drop down the sentry. They do spot him out, but can they do anything without the Morph, who's gone for another 10 seconds? Can they hold? No, they are going to take down Ramley. The Astral is there with the Prestige attack just to buy some time, but now that just sets up for the entire kill. They take two. They take out the Chen and the Legion and the Rubik. 3 goes down, has to buy back immediately. Facehugger is down to play. Azura finally in after the 10 seconds, but unfortunately it doesn't seem like Boom Esports is here to stay. Just gonna back out. They did what they could. They did what they have to. In fact, they won that.
Oracle forced out 3 buybacks. They've got to do something about this now. You can't give that Roshan away. You have to make those 3 buybacks worth it. So what are they gonna do?
Gets pulled over. Oh, the big Echo Slam to the backlines, followed by the hammer. Deletes the entire squad except for the Chen, who is nowhere near to be found. But man, that was devastating. You just had 3 buybacks committed on that one, and you lost 2 of them.
Do I say it?
Go ahead. You have every right to hit the button. Do it, Danelie.
Oh my goodness.
After this kill, say it after the kill. After this kill.
I wish.
Say it.
No, you're the play-by-play.
Boom! They goes down and they want more. Immediately straight for Facehugger, who gets pulled down by the Sinister Gaze. They take another kill. That's 100 seconds of a dieback on this Razor. Azura's the only man to live on this morph.
Oh my goodness, Oracle may have just completely lost it here. 93 seconds on your Razor, 20 seconds on Calvo. Morphling gets silenced.
Morphling to go down next. Oh, this looks bad for Oracle, man. He can try morph into strength all he wants, but that was a 5-on-1, and GG has been called from the side of Oracle.Youth. Boom Esports takes the first game out of the series, 1-0.
So there was definitely some promise for Oracle. They did show that they had a fighting spirit left. They had some moments where they just played brilliantly. They capitalized on some major misplays coming in from Boom. They were maintaining a somewhat reasonable, gold difference. 7k is actually fine, but then they just made some pretty big mistakes. And then from there, everything just went completely downhill, especially that Roche attempt. They had 2 heroes get picked off, and then they decided to go in 3 versus 5, and then they lose 3 heroes, and then they force out a 3-man buyback, and then they still decide to commit to the Roche pit when they didn't actually have enough vision to tell them where everyone was. Kelvin blinked in, he got instantly astraled and then died, did absolutely nothing, no duel, no anything. Yeah, the team just disintegrated after that. So Oracle, probably some decision-making errors there, thinking that they were maybe stronger than they actually were. But then Boom assessing the situation, realizing that, hey, they want to fight us. We still have buyback because we haven't spent any of our gold. If we kill them, that's a dieback, and the game is probably over. So they engage, they know their positioning. Shaker did wonderfully as always, getting the fissures that he needed. And yeah, they just kill almost everyone, leaving Morphling. And what can Morphling do? He was farmed, but he's not farmed enough to 5v1. So that was, I was hoping maybe Oracle could probably bring that back, but Boom showing that they had a lot more experience with this kind of scenario and understanding, like, guys, we need to tone it down a little bit. We've got to find the right fight. And they found it right there.